All right, let's go ahead and go through the Dark Knight Rises that I did. By the way, Trump Tower address. Sometimes the best stuff in my videos is at the end of the videos. People might not make their way through there. But Trump Tower's zip code is 10022. And I pointed that out toward the end of the last video. So I'm not sure if y'all caught that. But let's just focus on the tan there. That's October 2nd, 2022. And if you look at the text to Trump, where it's like 88022, he's got the 022 on the backside, just like his zip code has the 022 on the backside. And this year is that's smart, 022. That's the year. So it's just, they really want us to think it's October 2nd this year, as it's a Donnie Darko overlay month. When I tell you I'm set on that date, that's my flesh. I don't sit here and tell y'all that God told me. No. If I end up being right, then God gets all the credit. But God didn't tell me nothing. This is my flesh talking. If it ends up being right, then it was the Lord all along. That's about the only way you can put that. So that's a pretty serious zip code there. Now, don't forget, Trump Tower's got 5 multiple addresses, 721 through 725, that perfectly match the little horn of Daniel 7 passage, where the horn is the acting Antichrist killing sheep. So a horn is a trump, and Jesus said the Antichrist would be here in his own name in John 5:43. And a trump is a horn. So the fact, Michael has said to me a few times, I'm like, what are the chances of that? Michael will always go 0. The chances of that are 0, he'll say. And I can tell you that the chances, and Michael would too, I'm sure, that the chances of Trump Tower having 5 multiple addresses, 721 through 725, that perfectly match the little horn of Daniel 721, Daniel through Daniel 725, perfectly match that passage as the acting Antichrist. To begin, 721 says, shall make war with the saints, and 725 says, and shall wear out the saints of the Most High. It's talking about the Great Tribulation, and that's his address at Trump Tower. And this is his zip code. It is the Donnie Darko date of October 2nd. What color do we want to put that? And then we'll underline '22. So the underlines are the fusing. It's just, that's what it's saying. So anyway, I did add that into the list. I went down and added a lot of things to this list, and I'll do a video where it's just this list one day of everything that points to October 2nd. It's a lot more that's pointed to any other date. But the text to Trump 88022, when you understand and realize that this October is the exact overlay of October 1988, and his text to Trump is 88022. He's saying 1988 is actually 2022. And the 802 in the middle is telling you October 2nd, because 8 is oct. Oct is 8, I mean. So when they released No Time to Die, the James Bond, the final, they released it on October 8th for 88. So we know that that's what they do. So that's what this is. This is October 2nd. That's all I needed to see to know. I don't know what made me look about 2 or 3 weeks ago at this coming October to see if it was an exact overlay. I think I just started going and looking around for the next overlays. And when I realized it was this coming October was an exact overlay, his text to Trump popped right in my head. That was it. Now, my birthday is 88 days from October 2nd. If he rises on the third day on October 4th, that's 88 days left in the year. So we'll get to all that stuff later. By the way, October 2nd portals over to through our transfer portal. It does portal over to August 20th. October 2nd portals over to August. Did I say August? April 20th. April 20th portals to October 2nd. They portal back and forth to each other. Nobody showed us the transfer portal. We showed us the transfer portal. The Holy Spirit showed us the transfer portal. We will say the Holy Spirit showed us that because that is something we're correct on. That's not a guess. That was something we now know and understand. And I was just listening to my video while I was cleaning in the kitchen, and I didn't do a good job. I was explaining something. I said, well, I'll get back to it later. I said, but I didn't tell you that it was actually the transfer portal. I was describing to y'all the archway for October. Now, if Trump doesn't go down August 2nd, I would look hard at the 26th, because 2 days later, or on the third day, is that archway that I told y'all about and showed y'all numerically. I won't even bother. I'll have 2 weeks to teach it, reteach it, get y'all. The archway is due to the transfer portal. And it's a very set number of days, 25 days on each end, toward the back end of the year and on the front end of the year, where the portal begins and ends with March 1st or day 301 on the other end, which is actually October 28th is day 301. And then it ends on day 325, which portals over to March 1st. And then March 25th is the end of the archway. So you got 2 archways on each side, and they portal back and forth to each other. Let me try to explain it like this. March 25th portals over to October 28th, which is day 301. Now you go up 25 days from October 28th, you'll get day 325. Well, that day 325 will portal over to March 1st. Just like October 28th is day 301, and it portals over to March 25th. So it's in the fall, it's days 301 through days 325 that transfer portal back over to March 1st through March 25th. And they're mirror images of each other backwards. And Candy, my second wife, her name is spelled C, which is the third letter, and then the word and, A-N-D, and then the last letter in her name is a Y, the C and the Y. Well, that portals over to C and Y, March 25th. And the 325th day portals over to March 1st. And Candy was born on day 301 for March 1st, which they're opposite ends of the opposite archways. This does not work anywhere else in the calendar year. So that's why I was talking about if he doesn't go down October 2nd, then I'm going to start looking at that archway and any full moons inside of them. Now, I would be looking at the fall archway. And there's only one full moon in that archway. And that's on November 8th, which is 88, the 11th month times the 8th day. So you have to take a hard look at 11/8 as when he would rise, which means he would go down on the 6th of November, because the 7th is the Bible verse about rising from the abyss or the bottomless pit. We're ascending out of the bottomless pit. So theoretically, November 5th is in play. Rising on the 7th, the Bible verse that says ascends out of the bottomless pit. And that is within 24 hours of that full moon. That is absolutely positively the only other date I can have for you. Because of the way it sits inside. And I mean, that might be right in the middle. If of 25 days, you got 12 and 13 make up 25. So 12 and a half days from October 28th, 29th, 30, 31. November 10th is basically the midpoint. So it's right in the middle of that archway. Give or take a few days. It's right in the middle of that archway. And I picture it as an archway. I don't know why I called it an archway, but it just, you know, blah, blah, blah. I think we're caught up on all your comments. Love your comments. We are caught up. So let's get going. Dark Knight Rises. They give her a birthday of September 21st, which transfer portals back over to May 1st or May Day. And it says 1985. And I know somebody born on May Day, 1985. That is, just somebody that I know very well. And it just seems like some trolling. And only Michael would really understand that. Trolling way before the fact, because they can see the future. I showed y'all this yesterday, that Trump's birthday is in her violations. That same picture, I just took close-ups and snippets. Now, you've got 11/18, but if you move these around, you've got 11/8. 11th month, 8th day. 11 plus 11 is 22. But you really have to start doing a lot of fuzzy math to make that stuff work. But here it is again, Selena Kyle. And again, the name Kyle, a man's name. It was extremely clear when I was watching this movie what I was looking at. And the 125 and the 57, I would just have to talk to Michael about that. So we remember the jet had Mayday on it, 121, 121st day of the year. Now, also, when you stop these frames, it says 1 out of 17. And yet it shows 18 frames. I don't know if I actually took a picture of the 18. If I didn't, well, that's just a goof on my part. It's 24. And on May Day, 121, there's 244 days left in the year. Now, these are multiples of 8, 24, and 32, which are Candy's marriage numbers. The pilot literally says Mayday in the movie. Mayday, Mayday. So I don't think the stuff that I'm picking, there's the one I took a picture of. Notice it says chapter 1, verse 18. So it shows 18 or 17. It shows 17 and 18 frames. Now, what they will probably tell you is 17 of the actual movie, the 18th are the subtitles at the end. You know, who the director, the cast, the crew. But just the same, I don't see that in other movies. A 17 here, and then it told an 18 in another way. Selena Kyle, there's your Super Bowl date if you're into that kind of stuff. I don't think Trump's going down anytime soon. Y'all know when I think he's going down. They have to keep shaving that brow ridge down. The head, the chin, the jaw. And I just figured I'd show y'all that. It's pretty freaky looking. What was it in the movie about the Regency? He goes, actually, I was born in the Regency room. And you know, that's what they call the hospitals here in Winter Haven where everybody's born. Regency, renamed Winter Haven Women's Hospital Baycare. but it was regency forever and a day. The 101 address, 33, the 88. So, you know, I was born in the Winter Haven Hospital. Theoretically in the Regency room. So that's that trolling stuff that I throw out there from time to time. 36 and 89, if Candy marries her fiance and I've always said nothing's going to happen until she gets married. And 36 would be his next marriage number progression. His original is 35. 3511 are the first 4 digits of her fiance's original. He's only been married once. And Candy's original was 87. Then to me, it was 88, of course. Our next one would be 89. Well, that's the 2 marriage numbers right there next to each other. The 68, the reversal of the 86, which is what I did to her. I 86, the 88. There's a clock on here that says 1022. That could mean October 2022. So Proverbs 16:4 is about the abomination of desolation that God referred to in his word as the day of evil. And Bain said, I'm necessary evil. And what I try to explain to people is most of the sheep on this earth are lost. They will get the call when they go through the Great Tribulation. A lot of them will get the call going through the 4 horses. But at the abomination of desolation, the final lost sheep will be awakened. And I think that's the majority that are on the earth right now. And so it is through the necessary evil that God ordained, which is how the sheep get their robes made white. And we've shown it a few times, but you might be new. There's never anything wrong with just kind of going over the word of God, even if it's kind of redundant or overkill. Daniel 11:35, which is the New Testament version or Strong's Concordance number, G 11:35, for wife. And this is talking about his bride. It says, and some of them of understanding, these are sheep who have wisdom and understanding given to them by the Lord, shall fall. And it says to try them, because that's what the Great Trib is for. It's to try them and make their robes white. It's to refine them as gold is refined, and so on and so forth. And it says to purge. And you're purging the lost sheep of their sinful nature, of their place in the world, their worldly flesh, and you're making them pure. Then it says to make them white. Well, that's their robes, their white robes, even to the time of the end. This purging will be taking place right until God puts a stop to it. Why does he have to put a stop to it? Because no flesh would be saved if he didn't. He had to cut those days short. And it says, because it is yet for the time appointed. Which I can't believe we're living in these times. Or like we're living, like every single one of us sitting here listening to this, we will all see the abomination of desolation. We will all see the Lord return unless we are killed. But we are young enough to see it. We might not be appointed to see it because we might have an appointed day that we die. But this is our generation. 100%. 100%. Fascinating, isn't it? It's fascinating that we're living in these times. It's absolutely fascinating. Never gets old for me, folks. Well, with Bruce Wayne sitting right there, or Donald Trump, we know that G500, thank you, Jamie, is the number for Antichrist. So they had to put that in there. There is another 500 that we will see in the movie. I've already discussed October 4th is 88 days left in the year. I had forgotten the beauty of this movie as they were filming it. It's called The Dark Knight Rises. And we know that One World Trade Center is all about the two Trumps going down. The clone and the real one goes into hiding, which is also Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Rings, which is their mystery Babylonian fellowship of a religious nature called the Mystery Religions, where they take the oath and they learn all about the mysteries. And the second Lord of the Rings movie was called The Two Towers, and the last one was called Return of the King, which is when the Antichrist comes back. The eighth is of the seven. We really want to read Revelation 17 verses 10 and 11. That's Revelation 17 verses 10 and 11. So guess what's under construction as in the movie The Dark Knight Rises? Look what's rising. Fascinating, isn't it? That's a shot from the movie. We're not done with all that, I can assure you. And that's a man, baby. Look at that jaw. The brow ridge. Unbelievable. Now, why are they so much better than what you see when you go to Tampa or Orlando and you pop inside those pubs to have a few drinks and enjoy a TRANNY show? Why do they look so much better than the ones that just start or begin the process when they're already in their 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s? Because the processes in these famous people, which could be bloodlines, it's began at birth. And Michael pointed out, could be began while in the womb. So it's very difficult for the average person to pick up on. Throughout the movie is the school bus. But I showed you one shot. Again, Sicario, Sicario 2, The Dark Knight Rises. They all had the school bus. Donnie Darko standing out there on the curb, waiting for the school bus. School bus comes. School bus is in Donnie Darko. School bus is in The Dark Knight Rises. School bus is in The Dark Knight. Sicario, school bus. Sicario 2, Day of the Soldado, school bus. It means something, and we've broken it down. I think school bus comes to 33 in one of the gematrias. I can't help but think that maybe school buses will be used to transport people to camps, because it's used to transport right here while under siege, while the flags are ripped to shreds. They do give you the 10, 2, and 4 of Dr. Pepper during the countdown. The 10, 2, and 4, or October 24th. So they give you a lot of different numbers in that, but they did give it to you. They don't give you every number. You don't watch the whole thing count down the whole time, but it'll flash back and forth to it. 1024 was there. Now it was at the 24 and the 42-second mark. Look at Michael just sent October 2nd is Donald Trump. Wow. I got another video coming up of all of Michael's research because he has sent a lot today. He had some food poisoning. And of course, I've got a cold. So we've both been under it. But yeah, look at the 24 and the 42 right there. At 2 hours, 24 minutes, and 42 seconds into the movie, again, the 244 code, which is how many days are left after May Day. But again, the Dr. Pepper, the 10, the 2, and the 4. Also in the movie 7, it opens up with his badge 10, 2, and 4. And in the movie 7 is all about the sevens of the book of Revelation, which is all about cleansing. We've showed you that at 2 Kings 2:14. Write that down. 2 Kings 2:14. 7 was all about cleansing. In the book of Revelation, you're either cleansing the church or purging it of its sins. That's what it's for. The necessary evil on the earth. Or it's all throughout, the sevens are all throughout God's wrath. Because God's cleansing is earth. 7 is for cleansing. While it's counting down, you get the 500 for Antichrist. Thank you, Jamie. Strong's Concordance G for Greek. 500 is Antichrist. Mushroom cloud from I, Pet, Goat. Takes place after the Dark Knight rises and he comes back to save the earth or save Gotham. Then we get the mushroom cloud from iPad Goat. Amazing, isn't it? And don't forget, schools, school buses, iPad Goat. It's taking place in a classroom. When the twin Trumps went down, George Bush was in a classroom, school buses, classrooms. I just don't know, but it's something. Kristen Stewart playing Diana. I want you to look at these shoulders. Good grief. They say if it's an MAN, you can take 3 of those and they would fit across the shoulders. Well, the hair's poofed out, but just look at the head. You can fit one right there. There already is one right there, and you fit the other right there. And Michael and I think that Lady Diana was also one of these. Just obviously done way better. What they do, they poof that out with the clothing, with padding. They tighten that up. Poor guy. You know, now, obviously a eunuch. I mean, I'd tell Michael, I don't think they've got one. I don't think they got the tallywhacker. I think that thing gets lopped off very early in the process. And just like there were always eunuchs from days of old, I got a feeling that they get these very early on in the process. And now he might, or it might have one, because in real life, Kristen Stewart likes WOMEN. WOMEN. So she professes herself to be GAY. Well, maybe it's because she might really have one. There's just no telling. I mean, I can assure you, it's not that big a deal to me. Let's go through the videos. We didn't start the fire. That's Billy Joel. Billy Joel. You guys hear how good I sing? I've got a great voice. It's so good. They expect one of us to die in the wreckage, brother. We could turn the subtitles off. We don't need them because I run subtitles on the TV for y'all, for me. I want to know exactly what they're saying. What am I trying to do? Why did I start clicking? I wanted to turn the volume up a little bit. That's what it was. And I didn't want to get a copyright strike, so I'll pause a little bit. They expect one of us in the wreckage, brother. Wreckage, brother. Have we started the fire? We didn't start the fire. Little Billy Joel action. Y'all remember that one? Started the fire. Yes. Fire rises. Now, who rises from the fire? The phoenix rises from the ashes of the fire. The phoenix rising from the ashes means there must be a fire. So the coming storm is also the coming fire. This is called fair use boogers. More ancient part of the world. A pit where men are thrown. Now we know the pit is the bottomless pit where the Antichrist rises from. It's called the Dark Knight Rises. And Bruce Wayne, let's go over here and get into some Trump photos. I mean, guess when they took this picture? While filming The Dark Knight at Trump Tower. Just like the Ghostbusters Bobby Brown video had Trump coming out of his tower and then looking up at his tower. And of course, the whole movie was about an evil tower. I mean, seriously. I mean, who else would be living in Manhattan in his own tower? You had the Tower of Babylon. You have the SELL towers. I did spell it wrong on purpose. SELL really begins with a C. You have those towers. You have the Tower of Babel. You have the Trump Tower. You have the Twin Towers. You have the technology towers. And of course, G500 is the Strong's Concordance for Antichrist. If you reverse G5, you get, that's right, you get the number, letter, technology name. It's fascinating, isn't it? Yeah, you just loving this or what? Just can't get enough of this, can we? But sometimes a man rises. Ooh, a man rises from the bottomless pit. I should say it like that because that's an actual Bible verse. So I don't want to make fun of the Bible here. Rises from the bottomless pit, but they're, of course, mocking it. And I'm mocking them because they have their Dark Knight, Donald Trump, the billionaire from Gotham who's fighting crime. You know, what they call the deep state cabal. He's a crime fighter. He's fighting crime, saving the children. Bruce Wayne was doing what? Saving the children under the city in The Dark Knight Rises. Where the children go, they went under the city. What was Donald Trump doing? Saving the children under the city. Is that still searchable? Or I bet they removed it. Donald Trump saving the children under the city of Manhattan. Won't somebody please think about the children? The conspiracy theory known as QAnon concocted this elaborate story in a network underground tunnels. Oh, brother. Yeah, I mean, that's their world, man. The darkness sometimes depict send something back. Ooh, like like the Antichrist coming back. 7-Eleven is actually 11-7 when you look at their logo. I've shown you all that many times, that the 11 is first. Whether you read it from top to bottom or from left to right. And when they shall have finished their testimony, the beast that ascendeth out of the bottomless pit shall make war against them, which goes right back to Daniel 7:21 through 7:25. All the sevens, right? It's all for the church, every bit of it.
Commentary, fair use. Fair use.
I broke it up so it would at least upload to my channel, but I'm breaking it up for us here.
Raised in hell on earth or in prison. No one knows why or how you
Commentary.
trained by Raziel Ghul.
I wonder if Ra's al Ghul is something we should look at, Michael.
Raza Ghul.
I'm sure you have
That
before.
would be something good.
Once again, asking Michael.
Your mentor.
They was a member of the League of Shadows.
The League of Shadows. Is that something else to look up?
Along with or Leos.
Then he was excommunicated. And any man who is too extreme for Raziel Ghul
Ooh, he's too extreme for Ra's al Ghul. Wow, must be dangerous.
Oh, but it's too extreme.
Looks like I had the same joke there too. I don't know. I guess my
So be trifling. I don't realize
not to be trifled with. Don't be trifling with me, boy.
I was known for trifling with criminals.
that was it. And you could
Again, these two goofballs were teamed up in the movie The Prestige, which was about cloning. Tesla cloning, and Trump's uncle allegedly knew Tesla. It's a clone that's going to get hit. Guarantee it. I would say on a golf course.
just strap up your leg,
You strap up.
your mask back on, but that doesn't make you what you were.
Yeah. I mean, you're still a chump. See the 417? Or it's 4 of 18, depending on which mechanism you bring up.
This man is everything that you say he is.
Then the city needs me.
Needs me, Alfred.
Resources your knowledge. At times pass.
They don't need your body. They just need your brains and your resources. You can teach them how to fight crime without letting your body do it so you don't die.
You're afraid that if I go back out there, I'll fail.
I'm afraid you want to.
Right.
Commentary. Booger.
Boogers. Fair use boogers. Afraid you want to, Brucey. Tell you what, that 4K, you watch these movies in 4K, you can see somebody's face in these windows, man, and tell if they got red hair or not, what color their hair is. I'm kidding, but I'm telling you, man, 4K is, you have to have a 4K disc with a 4K player with the right hookup cords going up to a 4K television. When you got all that and you watch these movies, it's way better than what you get in a theater. And the good Lord just wanted me to have all that for us. Straight up.
What would be pure Illuminati without the black cube? Plural. Cubes.
You can't, let me rephrase that. You can't have absolute pure Illuminati without the black cubes. So I think my vision was black cube symbolism in large cities. So it's the black cube of Saturn. There's one in Australia. There's one in Denmark. There's one in Manhattan. There's one in Santa Ana. Manhattan has more evil symbolism. And of course, you know, that world religion. Everything's all about the cube. They will tell you it's about the black goo, which somehow is how they sort of manifest. When you look at the D-Wave quantum computer, they have, you know, which is your AI. Of course, it's in the black cube symbolism. So there's something about these black cubes. You look at the memorial of the Twin Towers. Again, the two black cubes. And then, of course, Brucey boy. That's how I drive into my condominium complex, just like that. Freaks all the elderly people out. Look at there. What's he landing on? 2 black cubes. Well, you just can't make it up, can you? No, you can't.
What would be pure
Did y'all see the archway there at the end?
What would be pure
The archway. All down there in the back cave, the archway. We were talking about the archway, weren't we? October 28th through November 21st, and then March 1st through March 25th. Because it's October through November, it's day 301 through day 325, which is March 1st through March 25th. 301 through 325. They're mirror image archways of each other. There, I think I explained it better then than I did wasting your time for 5 solid minutes. All right, it looks like at 10:02 to 10:04, big scenes, intense music is what I'm trying to sell you here. Let's see what you think.
So I wanted to see what it looked like at 10:02.
I should have looked at 10:02 in the movie, because this is 1 hour 10:02, and then I show y'all 2 hours 10:02. Again, extremely big music at 2 hours 10:02. It's like a boom.
October 2nd or 1.
But yeah, that's
October
10:02. That's
2nd.
October 2nd.
And this is what was taking place at that moment. You can see
Him rising.
that Bruce is going to put on the Batman suit.
It's rising. So you heard the music.
Rewind it a little bit. It's 109:53.
Now, don't be looking at this now. If you're just kidding.
It's going to hit 10
So we're at 10:01 right now.
right there.
So you heard and see at 10:04 for 10:02 and 4. The climax is big right there. So let's go through it again. Absorb the scene from 10:01. Okay, right now you're on September 30th. We're 10-0.
Right there.
So they definitely make a big break right at that moment. That's a big moment. The music really escalates at 10:02, 10:03. And climaxes at 10:04 when he would what? When he would rise from the abyss. And the movie is called what? The Dark Knight Rises.
And notice when it was at 10 right there.
So what's the rest of the movie about? Is that just me breaking it down further? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Pretty interesting, isn't it? Did I sell it to you? Or is this just stuff that's in my own head? Don't let me manipulate you now.
So
I'll manipulate you all day long. I'm just kidding.
you get your 322, Abyss opening symbology. The name of the city is called Rapid City.
The team they're playing is Rapid City in the movie. It's Pittsburgh is representing Gotham, the pit, the bottomless pit. And the movie's called what? The Dark Knight Rises, and they're called the Steelers. Pittsburgh Steelers, the iron mixing with clay. The Alabama Crimson Tide, whose biggest fraternity is called the Machine. For the Ghost in the Machine, they represent Satan and the Ghost in the Machine. That's who Alabama represents. Shown you all that many times in deeper detail. And their big rivalry game with the Auburn Tigers. You're the Tiger. It's called the Iron Bowl.
That's the team in the Seahawks colors, but then you already kicked the ball off where it said Ravens on the back of his jersey, and of course they established they were playing Steelers. So a Ravens Steelers game would be big, maybe.
Yeah, and we'll have to look. I mean, what if the Ravens Steelers game, y'all, is, November 2022 calendar. I mean, what are you going to do if the Ravens are playing the Steelers? Say November 6th. Because he might go down on a Saturday or Sunday there. The full moon is on the 8th. Well, if he goes down on the 5th, rise on the 7th, but what if the Steelers and the Ravens are playing, or the following weekend, when they would declare what? The marshal, the sheriff and the martial law. Who knows? You got the 322 on the lounge box. The Abyss is open because he got it. Trump got 86th. He's rising from the pit. He got 86th. Guy's wearing 86. Now you've got October here on his jersey. He's got the 10th.
Possibly.
Looks like you got number 54. You got number 10 over here to the far left. So October. That could be a reach. Coincidence. I'd like to know what number that guy was. Is this the 5th? Is he number 5? For 10-5? The Abyss,
He's wearing number 86 on his jersey.
Jersey?
For the 86ing of Donald Trump.
On his jersey? This was filmed in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. That's Heinz Field. Michael, do we need to look at Heinz Field, Pittsburgh? There's your 322 on the box. Because it's all about Genesis 3:22. That man can now see good and evil from what Eve and Adam did. Guy wears eyeliner. Fascinating, isn't it?
Saw the 322 there, and of course he's wearing eyeshadow.
Eyeliner, goofball. So that is number 5, isn't it? Yeah. So that says October 5th right there. These things are not accidental. I'm telling you, man. Early October, all day long. I'm all over it. And the 5th is telling the 86. But man, he fell in a bit. Wow. Heinz Ward, you made it through, my friend. Heinz Ward, Wikipedia, because that's at Heinz Field. There he is, number 86. And you can clearly see him during the national anthem. Heinz Ward. I'm sure we've looked at this before. March 8th, 1976. So he is born in the archway, date of March 8th. And if you go up 8 days from the 28th, you got the 28th, 29th, 30th, 31, November 1st, November 2nd, November 3rd, November 4th. Yeah. I don't know. That's off about a day or two. I'm just looking at stuff, man. Get off me, man. He had exactly 1,000 even receptions. I think the abyss is open. What do y'all think? By 10-5? Bain declares the marital law.
Now, we established last year during that football game between the Seahawks.
Now, the Seahawks did play the Steelers last year on October 17th, and I was thinking, oh boy, here it comes, you know. He's going to go down, and we're going to get our material law, which is what I think Mar-a-Lago stands for. M-A-R-L-A.
And the Steelers, that martial, that game was on October 17th. So when he declares martial law, look at the time on. Well, the time left. It's already at 10:26. It's pretty much going to land right on the 10:17 mark. It's already at 10:26. It's pretty much going to land right on the martial law. Look at the time on.
So when you look at the time remaining in the movie, when he's declaring this, it's 10:27, 10:26-ish. You have the 10:2 in the middle of it. You have the 1:10 for the stories of the Twin Towers, or August 20th being the 110th day of the year. So you got a lot of numbers fused together left in the movie, because any number has meaning. Whatever's left, like I was born on day 187, July 6th. But 178 is just as significant. That's how many, when you look at it on a calendar, it'll say 187/178, tells you there's 178 days left in the year. Well, in the world of numbers, it all has meaning. That's what's stamped on that day. 187/178, 6th July 1960. Everything's got a number attached to it.
Well, the time left. It's already at 10:26. It's pretty much going to land right on the 10:17 mark.
This unsung hero.
Because it's going backwards. It's counting down.
So you see you're at 10:20 right now.
10:20, the bomb, it said. Martial law right there at 10:17, which is exactly when the Seahawks played the Steelers last year on 10:17. He said the words martial law at 10, but it started at 10:18 to 10:17 because this year, a football game, I think they're moved. Did we October 2022 calendar? Well, not only is this the Donnie Darko overlay month or calendar, but this is when I met Candy overlay. I met Candy on October 22nd on a Saturday. So this is also 2005. Fascinating. My son turned 22 on October 22nd in 2005. So you're telling me that the month I met the second wife, the 88, I was her 88, her marriage to me was her 88, that it was the same October overlay calendar of 88 in 2022. Got it. It's fascinating. Yeah, I met her on a Saturday. It was at college. We were getting our master's degree from Nova Southeastern Educational Leadership. We were cluster 13, believe it or not. And I know y'all will believe it. And it was every Saturday. We met every Saturday. Wow. Fascinating. Let me look at the 1985 when I got my divorce in October. See if it's the same overlay. It is not. Okay, good. How could I have gotten divorced on October 5th? It's on a Saturday. Then I got divorced on a Friday. I've been wrong all this time. Somebody that never forgets dates or never messes up dates. Why is that thing all jacked up? Let's try it again. Is it me or is it just blurrier and I'll get out there? Here we go. Not blurry. So when was my divorce? Was not on October 5th. It was on my girlfriend's birthday, my high school sweetheart. Wow. That's fascinating. But anyway, let's keep going.
He said martial law at the 18 and 17 mark.
Sure did.
And that completed it. No, that's for day of the year. When you look going back the other way. See, one's a countdown, the other.
Rising Day. So look who look who ascended from the pit. And this was filmed oh, that's right. They told us in the movie all the places that they filmed at. Dark Knight Rises. Where did Bruce Wayne actually rise from the pit at? What country?
According to Movies and TV Stack Exchange, there's one particular shot when Wayne emerges from the prison that actually gives a glimpse of the Maringar Fort in the background. The scene involving Ras Al Ghul also seemed to be filmed in Fort. The inside of the pit is a famous stepwell called Chand Bauri, which is in Dasa district, Rajasthan, India.
All right, Michael. So I will copy and paste and get this to you. By the way, look at what Michael's got for us there. Look at that. Oh, a lot of this is going to be exposing the guys that are in all these Hollywood movies. So Kelly Ripa was born October. Yeah, we'll get into Michael's stuff in another video. He deserves his own video. He's got a lot of content there. It's a numbers game. 318 and 500 is the title of this one. I don't know why.
It'll be right at 20500. 500 is the number for Antichrist again. This could all be there's 1318.
See, so when you look at chapter, it gives you 18. But when you pause it, like in another place, it'll say it's 17 different chapters. So 1318 is, of course, the 666 Bible verse, Revelation 13, verse 18. Revelation chapter 13, verse 18. It literally says chapter 13, 18 in parentheses. So they are not jiving you here, boy. They're telling you straight up. So the title of this is it's a numbers game, 13, 18, and 500. So why the 500? Let's find out. I can't remember.
For your Revelation chapter 13, it says chapter 13. Then it's got the 18. You know that chapter 13 verse
Yeah. I
18
already told them that.
Bible verse.
Spazzo.
So they're pretty clear about their agenda right there. So watch it hit the 500 when it.
Yeah, it's going to hit 500 in 5 seconds. So again, the climactic music right there. And it cuts to the scene immediately afterwards. Basically right at 5:01. Right at 500. Yeah, right at May 1st or 5:01. It cut, but yeah, they gave you the big music, didn't they? Again, the climax. Okay. All right. Whatever you like. Now, One World Trade Tower, Donald Trump, the Antichrist. I've shown you all this before in my Trump Antichrist series.
Oh, this is one of the most telling shots and scenes in The Dark Knight.
So that's One World Trade Center right there. Remember how it's half finished? Well, about a third left to go. Well, that's it right there. And you can see the cranes on top, barely in the movie. It's very hard to make it out right here with my shot. There you go. You can see the cranes now better that way. See the cranes.
Those telling shots and scenes in The Dark Knight Rises. Now, you got this one of the most.
You can also tell where it's cut off, unfinished, like finished down there, unfinished the rest of the way. So that's the One World Trade Tower that we showed you earlier.
Telling shots and scenes in The Dark Knight Rises. Now, you got the bridge.
Why is it so telling? We've already seen it once.
Bridge busted up. You see the cranes on top of that building in the background?
Yes, sir.
The highest building.
Yes, sir.
And you see how it's almost finished?
Yes,
Like
sir.
it's nice and shiny up until about, I don't know, 1/3 at the top.
Yeah,
That's
yes,
the
sir.
unfinished that we hopefully showed you earlier.
Yes, sir.
In
We
the
did.
photo that the One World disappears like right at that point. Hang on. Rolling because this is right after the last scene.
There it is right there.
This is right after the last scene that I showed you at the 500. So now watch how they put.
They're going to put this building, this One World Trade Tower, right in back of Bruce Wayne's head, cryptically, because Trump is the return of the king. The two towers, return of the king. He is the 8th that is of the 7. He is the One World Trade Tower.
Donald Trump or Bruce Wayne.
How would you like to walk around Manhattan and go, that building's me? I mean, you want to talk about a pretty swollen head, man. I mean, to have this whole world about him and he knows it.
Or Batman right over the One World Trade Tower, very cryptically. They put it right over his head.
They're underneath this canopy right here.
Absolute key
Absolute key what?
scene in the movie.
Right there. That's it. See the shiny? See the shiny on down there? And then the not so shiny right there? They put it right in back of them. How crazy.
Okay.
That's it right there over his head.
Yeah, we see it.
You
Thank
see
you.
the shiny at the bottom?
Yeah, yeah,
And then the
we
dark over
do.
the top?
Yeah, sure.
That's the One World Trade Tower under construction right in back of him.
Because the movie's all about the Dark Knight Rises. That's the name of the film.
I mean, if
And
if
he
all the
rose.
world isn't a stage and a very biblical end time stage, I don't know what else to tell you.
So it kind of focuses now to where you can kind of see the shiny and the non-shiny.
Yeah. Even without the autopilot, thanks. Autopilot.
And they put it right there in nice focus too, didn't they?
Yeah,
F4.
there it is. Shiny, not shiny.
Wow, fascinating.
Oh, their cryptic little world. It's beautiful, isn't it? It's just what I keep saying. It's fascinating. We're almost done. We got 4 videos left here. 10-2, once again, potentially very telling. Well, let's find out. This will be 2 hours.
Now, again, coincidence? Michael and I don't believe in them, but you know, right at the 10:02 mark for October 22nd.
October 2nd.
Now it's got the 2 in front
October
of it.
2nd, not 22nd. I'm so used to saying on October 22nd. It's my son's birthday.
Then it's going to say 10:002.
That jaw right there, man. That dude knock you out, man. Knock you slap out. If he catches you right.
Right then, she says, "I'm gone."
Gee.
Because all of these are sort of manifestations of, like, the Joker was Trump, and Batman's Trump, and Bruce Wayne's Trump.
They're like mirror images of each other. Blofeld.
Batman is Bruce Wayne. But she says, "I'm gone," right at the 10:02 mark.
These guys.
With your help, I might.
I'll open that tunnel, then I'm gone.
I'm gone at 10:02.
I mean, like, right there, man. Right there.
I'll open that tunnel, then I'm gone.
I'm gone right at 10:02. I don't know. Coincidence? I don't know.
Am I just reaching this stuff? Or do y'all actually, are y'all seeing it the way I'm seeing it?
Blake, John.
Because I'll manipulate you now. I'll manipulate you all day long to see things my way. I'm kidding, but I'm not, because it's my human nature. I'm a human. And if I think something's this way, I'm gonna try to sell it. So I will tell you, protect yourself at all times. What's it say? Let God be true and every man a liar. So take it to discernment. Take it to the Lord. I'll lie to you in a heartbeat. I've done it many times, telling you dates and when they're going to happen.
Try my legal name.
You should use your full legal name. What's Joe Biden's full legal name? Joe Biden's full name. Robinette. What do you know? It's Batman and Robin. What do you know? What do you know? It's Batman and Robin. Batman and Robin.
Yes. Mr. Trump,
Yes,
are you Batman?
I am Batman.
So it's Batman and Robin. Got it. You should choose. And who helped? Who helped? This guy all throughout the movie. Who helped Bruce Wayne all throughout the movie?
Shall I read the land?
Robin did. He helped Batman all throughout the movie, didn't he? Yeah, he sure did.
You should use your full name. I like that. Robin.
So if she's saying you should use your full name, then that's saying that that's his middle name because he said his name was Blake.
Blake, John.
Blake. John Blake. His name is John Blake.
Shall I read the land?
Trump's middle name is John. That's what's so funny. Biden's middle name is Robin.
You should use your full name. I like that. Robin.
Why are we even worrying about stabilization?
Both cases, folks, look cool. Steve is a dead suspect, more than likely to his right eye. For
Whatever. Quit being so dramatic. I don't like myself. I'll critique me very hard all day.
they don't allow it to be focused, but at the closing scene,
What do you think that is? It's the One World Trade Tower at the end of the movie.
here, that again is the One World Trade Center under construction. The tallest one to the left.
To the left. Commentary fair use. Boogers.
They don't allow it to be focused, but at the
But 808 for what it's worth is what this one's titled.
once again, the little game with these times, as soon as that music hits, you get the 808
Really?
or the 88.
You know, my stepdaughter was born. Now, you know my stepdaughter's number. She's born 3 times 19 times 998. So her number, she's got the 138 for Trump or Donald Trump, or I think it's Trump. She's got the 88 and the 86 and the 88. She's got it all. And she was born at 8:08. I don't know if it's AM or PM. I can't remember. But it's true. Everybody in my life from that marriage and everything about everything has always been about these end times. Book of Revelation. I lived at 404 Lime Street, just 404 verses in the Book of Revelation. Everything in my life's been about the end times. Period.
Bam. Did you hear it?
Hear the music. It's at 8:08. Wow.
Jeez. Oh, it disappears.
That's too
When
zoomed
you touch
in.
it. There it is.
Yeah, we see it. Boogers.
But you heard me stop it like right when it hit. Now to give you the full effect of what that sounds like, that it hit right at 808. Listen to how hard it hits. Bam. You know what I'm saying?
8:08. Wow. Now, when we look at October 2nd, 10 times 2 times 2022, we do have the 404 as the day. There's 90 days left in the year, so we can hit it times that. Divide it back out. It's also the 275th day of the year. And there's that 121 again. You could just go 275 times 2022. Okay.
I was very right on that 808, and it was a very bam moment. For whatever it's worth. Once again,
For whatever it's worth. Who wrote the song? For whatever it's worth song. It's Buffalo Springfield. It's called For What It's Worth. Something's happening here. Monday, right? I ain't got to be here. Jamie knows this whole song on our show. Jamie.
Something happened. Everybody look what's going in the street.
Whatever. I don't want no copyright strike. Love y'all very much. And Michael's stuff will be next. We call it stuff, but it's going to be amazing information. Trust me. Trust me. All right. Love y'all.